Every single day, the best hedge funds face a brutal, invisible struggle that eats away at their core. It's not just about market swings or algorithms. It's about the deeper, raw problem that no spreadsheet can fix. How to think better, how to see clearer, how to outsmart a world that's already playing catch-up. They operate in chaos disguised as order, in numbers that beguile but don't explain everything, in pressures so intense they crush the brightest minds. The truth is, the toughest part about success today isn't just the markets, it's the blindness that comes with it, the limits of conventional thinking, the trap of repeating patterns that bring failure disguised as routine. Imagine the smartest trader in the room, the one who's crushed targets for years, still stuck. Why? Because finance, as ruthless as it is, demands more than skill. It craves a new kind of thinker, someone who's not just smart with numbers, but obsessed with meaning, with questioning reality, with peeling back the layers the system insists you never touch. The world offers you formulas, risk models, and endless data streams, but none of that alone breaks the cage around your mind. That's why today, hedge funds are chasing a secret weapon. Philosophers. Philosophers, the ones you barely notice, the ones who've spent lifetimes wrestling with questions no one else dares ask, are being dragged into finance's darkest trenches. It sounds strange, even crazy to some. What could thinking about ethics, existence, or truth possibly have to do with beating the market? The answer: they hold the key to a breakthrough that no degree in economics or years crunching numbers can buy. They challenge assumptions, destroy illusions, and force a brutal re-evaluation of what everyone takes for granted. They teach hedge funds how to unlearn, how to break free from the comfortable lies that keep them trapped. The problem is simple. The world has nailed down a fragile framework that everyone treats like gospel. Markets will act a certain way. People will behave predictably. Risk is measurable. And success is repeatable. But that's a lie dressed up in data and certainty. The world changes faster than your models can adapt. Human behavior twists and turns beyond algorithms. And the very definitions of value and risk have become slippery ghosts. Here's where philosophy steps in. Not with rigid methods, but with a lightning strike of clarity. It forces hedge funds to ask, what if everything I know is wrong? What if the truths I rely on are nothing but comforting stories? This is not academic fluff, it's survival. Hedge funds addicted to data without deeper insight are missing the most vital edge, the edge of critical thinking and radical perspective shifts. Philosophers train minds to live in discomfort, to question what's given, to embrace uncertainty rather than fear it. In markets riddled with unpredictability, this skill isn't optional. It's lethal, efficient. They teach leaders to hold the world's contradictions and ambiguities in their hands without breaking, to decode signals wrapped in noise, to see patterns others are blind to because they're stuck chasing safety. And it's not just about questioning, it's about transformation. Philosophers inspire people to break the system's rules, not to rebel aimlessly, but to construct new frameworks where innovation thrives. Hedge funds are learning that real power lies not just in mastering existing tools, but in redefining the battlefield itself. This is the kind of strategic alchemy that turns fragile assumptions into solid ground. They don't just react to change, they become the ones initiating it by spotting risks so cryptic others dismiss them, and conjuring strategies that others wouldn't dare dream. The energy philosophers bring is disruptive, yes, but also deeply necessary. Imagine a team that's not afraid to dive into the messy, uncomfortable questions society tries to hide. What happens when traditional institutions collapse? How do you shape value in a world where rules shift like sand? How do you build trust when everyone is chasing their own shadow? Philosophers don't pretend to have the answers, but they teach you how to live with the questions, turning doubt into a weapon rather than a weakness. That teaches hedge funds to be resilient, adaptive, endlessly creative warriors in finance's war zones. Why are the best hedge funds hiring them? Because in a world drowning in noise and shallow certainty, these rare thinkers are the antidote to complacency. They are the ones who spark the radical embrace of complexity, needed to outthink supercomputers and crowds alike. They bring that crucial ability to see beyond the chaos, connecting dots in ways the data never will. When your whole career depends on spotting the invisible before it breaks your portfolio, that edge is priceless. Think about the constant pressure hedge fund leaders face. Being judged every hour, asked to outsmart the smartest, to perform under the suffocating weight of expectations. Most turn to bigger data sets, faster algorithms, smarter machines. But that's putting a bandage on a broken bone. The truth is, no machine can question the foundation it's built on. Philosophers help break that loop, introducing perspectives that unsettle the comfortable, revealing the cracks where new opportunities lurk. They invite hedge funds to not just act smarter, but to think differently. They pull them out of the system's matrix and into the realm of real innovation. The results are showing. Firms that integrate philosophical thinking find themselves shifting from reactive survival mode into bold, proactive creation. They stop playing defense against market chaos and start defining the rules themselves. And this doesn't come from some magic formula, but rare courage, the courage to embrace discomfort, to live with uncertainty, to patiently outlast the easy fixes. Philosophers bring that courage. They embody patience because they know the long game is the only game that matters. Look at leaders who incorporate this mindset. They're not just investing capital, they're investing in themselves as adaptive, sovereign agents of change. They question everything, their beliefs, their strategies, even the definition of success itself. They refuse to be prisoners of the system's illusions. Profit and risk become flexible concepts, tools to build something new rather than ends in themselves. In this crucible, real power emerges, a power not given by the world, but seized by those daring enough to shape their own reality. Imagine a network where the rare minds, the philosophers, the investors, the architects of new thinking, connect and fuel each other. Think beyond economies and countries, past ideologies and comfort zones. This is where true innovation lives, where real freedom sparks. Hedge funds that tap into this collective move beyond competition, into collaboration that redefines markets. They don't lose their edge. They sharpen it with a new kind of wisdom, born from diversity and deep inquiry. So, what does this mean for you? An investor? A leader? Someone who refuses to settle for borrowed scripts and borrowed lives? It means the time has come to break your own chains. The system you trust may not serve you. Your tools might be obsolete. Comfort can be the death of your edge. But there is a way out. Through radical unlearning, through alignment with the few who see the world refracted differently. Embrace the discomfort. Welcome the uncertainty. Question relentlessly. Build your own reality instead of buying the one sold to you. This is why the best hedge funds want philosophers. They are the guideposts in a world designed to hide truth beneath layers of convenience and noise. They shatter the illusions and remind us of something we often forget. Real power lives in those who think beyond, who refuse simple answers, who own their minds like weapons. Don't wait for the chaos to prove you wrong. Harness the fire now, the fire of revolutionary thinking that transforms risk into opportunity and confusion into clarity. In a world spinning on the edge of what we know and what we dare to imagine, the question isn't just who has the best data or tech. It's who has the courage to think harder, deeper, differently. It's who brings philosophy to the finance table and refuses to settle for anything less than world-changing insight. If hedge funds want to win tomorrow, they must hire those who aren't afraid to break everything you thought was true today. Because only by smashing the old stories can new stories, ones where you lead, not follow, become reality. And you, watching this now, need to ask yourself, are you willing to burn the scripts and safety nets, to step beyond the herd and into a rarefied space where your power is not borrowed, but built, where crisis becomes creation, uncertainty becomes strength? The philosophers aren't here just to talk. They're here to arm the few who will remake this world, one bold, fearless move at a time. There are no guarantees. There is no easy path. But there is freedom and power waiting in that wild frontier of thought and action. Don't blink. Don't look away. This fire is your chance to become something else, something far beyond what you imagined possible. The greatest hedge funds are already on this path. The question is, will you be one of them?